Hey, what's happening? I'm back. It's been a while, but it's good to be back. Some of you may know and some may not. I created a small business called Conscious XL Transport and Delivery. It's a transport and delivery business. And this morning I had a delivery up in Plainview, New York. And the traffic was pretty bad, beat me up a little bit. So I decided to pull over, even though back in Jersey, eat my lunch, which I did, and then I read a little bit. And normally I read, and after I read, I wind down and relax. Of course, we can't wind down and relax while out on the highway. However, I can still read. And I like to share what I'm reading with you guys today. It's one of my projects. It's called The Game. That's what the cover looks like. It can also be found if you're looking for something that's very interesting to read or to get into. You can find it at consciouspress.net, which is my website. So I want to tell you a little bit about the book, give you some context. The book is about a guy. He's a hustler. He's realizing, though, that what he's doing, life isn't about. And he wants out of the game. So he decides to use everything that he knows about the game to get the money quick as he can and get out. Put himself on top of the game and walk away. However, in between getting the money and walking away, life happens. Envy, jealousy, hatred, violence, the cheapness of life itself, even death. So, it's a lot of our stories. You know, we get out there and get caught up, and the fun thing turns into a habit. And I think that's when the problem starts. However, I digress. Let's get right into the book, The Game. I'd like to start with the introduction, and we'll go from there. 1 through the amount of chapters I have here. Maybe we're going to 1 tomorrow or 2 days from now, and we'll get a regular cycle going. Okay, so here's the introduction to the book, The Game. After breakfast, as Teresa began to clear the kitchen table, Goldie made his way into the living room to read the morning edition of the Home News. When he was done, he placed the newspaper back down onto the coffee table and walked over and opened the blinds. After which he sat back down onto his easy chair. He just sat there, looking out through blinds that shielded a large picture window. After a few moments, Goldie called out, "Come here, baby." Teresa appeared almost instantly. She eased up beside him in his easy chair. "Yes, Goldie?" "Baby, look around yourself, and then I want you to take a look out of these here blinds." Teresa replied, "Goldie, what?" After taking a look around the elegantly decorated room, brass, glass, and various types of African artifacts, she placed her hands onto her shapely hips and gave him an inquisitive smile. She said, "Come on, Goldie, what is it that you want me to see?" He smiled slyly. He said, "Hey, that this shit ain't half bad." Teresa returned his smile and eased around in front of him and sat down onto his lap and had given him a big hug. Goldie asked, "What's that for?" She looked intensely into his eyes. "It's because I remember where and what it took and all we've been through to get where we are today. And Goldie, I appreciate it. I owe it all to you." He leaned forward and kissed her on the forehead. "Baby, do you know the sad part about it all? I appreciate it. I love and I cherish nothing. I'll leave here today knowing the price of everything and everyone in the value of nothing. However, I do have to give you credit. You have made me aware of a lot of things. I also want you to know that it's because of you that I'm beginning to come around. Today, I can honestly say that I truly value your friendship, your honesty, and your loyalty. Hell, I remember when you had a snotty nose and a face full of tears, scared to death of that big old world out there. Do you remember? Yeah, I remember the day we met. Baby, I want you to know I'm proud of you. And it gives me great pleasure to say, today sitting in my lap is a woman. I'm as proud of you as I am of my work. You are a masterpiece. And I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to play a part in the making of you. I gotta go to work. Teresa rose so that he could stand. He said, okay, it's Friday, big money day. Let's get it on. I'll make the necessary calls on the road. You know the drops. As he walked over and removed his jacket from the living room closet and began to make his way to the door to leave, Teresa, who had been standing there in the room watching him closely the whole time, called out, Goldie. He stopped and turned to face her. Before leaving the room, she said thanks. Goldie turned and walked out of the door. He knew it had all been said, and he also knew that she had earned it. Okay, that's the introduction. Maybe a little later on today, we'll get into chapter 1. It gets very interesting. I really think that you'll enjoy the book. One thing I will say, if Goldie, with his level of discipline, had a legal product, a team, or a market that he was targeting with that particular product, he'd be a billionaire. Really sharp cat. I think you'll enjoy his play. Have a good one. We'll talk soon. Love you guys. Peace.